The law of significance in real life, the story of Flight 232. Some lessons about teamwork aren't learned in boardrooms or classrooms, they're written in fire and steel. The story of United Airlines Flight 232 is one of the clearest, most gut-wrenching demonstrations of the law of significance. One is too small a number to achieve greatness. This is not a tale of one hero. It is a tale of many, fighting against impossible odds, and discovering that survival itself can only be forged together. A routine day in the sky. On July 19, 1989, United Airlines Flight 232 took off from Denver, bound for Chicago. 296 people were on board. The aircraft, a DC-10, a massive jet with 3 engines. The crew, Captain Earl Haynes, First Officer William Records, and Flight Engineer Dudley Dvorak. Takeoff was smooth. For the first 60 minutes, everything was normal. Passengers settled in, sipping coffee, reading magazines. It was just another flight. Until it wasn't. Disaster at 37,000 feet. At cruising altitude, the tail-mounted engine exploded. Shrapnel tore through the hydraulic lines, all of them. Hydraulics are the lifeblood of an aircraft. Without them, the plane cannot steer, cannot climb, cannot descend. Pilots train for every conceivable emergency, but not this. Losing all hydraulics. It was supposed to be impossible. The cockpit filled with alarms. The flight engineer's face went pale. Captain Haynes later recalled, "We lost everything. No ailerons, no rudder, no elevators. The airplane was a 300,000-pound brick." In that instant, the illusion of control shattered. A single man, no matter how skilled, could not save the plane. The many who became one. What happened next was a masterclass in teamwork under fire. The cockpit crew, Haynes and Records, discovered that by throttling the 2 remaining wing engines unevenly, they could steer, barely. A desperate improvisation. Denny Fitch, an off-duty flight instructor who happened to be a passenger, volunteered to help. He crawled into the cockpit, took the throttles, and became the 4th pilot. Flight attendants, they prepared passengers for impact, teaching brace positions, securing the cabin, calming terrified children, and telling parents to hold their kids tightly. Air traffic control guided them towards Sioux City, Iowa, where rescue crews were scrambled. Firefighters, paramedics, doctors, all mobilized in minutes. Passengers themselves, in those final moments, many passengers prayed, some wept, but others comforted strangers, held hands, and shared strength they didn't know they had. The truth was undeniable. No one person could face this alone. The impossible landing. As the crippled plane approached Sioux City, thousands watched from the ground. The DC-10 came in fast, too fast. The crew had no flaps, no spoilers, no brakes to slow descent. "Brace! Brace! Brace!" the attendants shouted. The plane slammed into the runway, bounced, and cartwheeled in a fireball of smoke and steel. Many thought no one could survive. But then, unbelievably, people began climbing out of the wreckage. The aftermath. Of the 296 souls on board, 184 survived. 112 lives were lost, yes, but 184 lived in a crash experts said should have killed everyone. The National Transportation Safety Board later concluded. No simulator could replicate what the pilots did. No procedure existed for this scenario. Survival hinged on teamwork, crew, passengers, rescuers, acting as one. Captain Haynes, when asked later about being a hero, refused the title. "It was a team effort. We had impossible odds, but together, we turned certain death into a fighting chance." Life lessons from Flight 232. When one fails, many can still succeed. Had Haynes tried to control the plane alone, they all would have perished. Leadership is expanded, not hoarded. Inviting Denny Fitch into the cockpit was an act of humility, and it saved lives. Strength comes from unity. Survivors later said that being calmed by a stranger's hand or a flight attendant's voice gave them courage to face impact. Preparedness needs teamwork too. The rescue crews on the ground made the difference between life and death. Implications. In business, one brilliant founder cannot scale a company alone. Greatness requires a team. In family, one parent cannot carry the weight of raising children. It takes a network. In crisis, one leader cannot fix a nation. It takes communities standing shoulder to shoulder. Flight 232 reminds us that greatness isn't about avoiding loss, it's about what can still be saved when many fight together. The law etched in fire. To this day, survivors of Flight 232 reunite in Sioux City, not to relive the terror, but to honor the truth. One is too small a number to achieve greatness. In the wreckage, they discovered significance, not in a single hero, but in the web of hands, voices, and hearts that chose to act as one.